The fast-moving holy fire is inching closer and closer to homes in Lake Elsinore, California. That's about 70 miles southeast of Los Angeles. The holy fire in Southern California has more than doubled in size in the last 24 hours. Tonight, the flames spreading quickly and coming closer to homes. We're going to take a live aerial look right now from the area. This is a live look overhead, and you can see that the camera is pulled back kind of far there, but you can see that the fires are burning through the night, and fire crews typically will not work, at least not aerial attacks through the night. We now have another live feed from a residential area. This gives you an idea just how close the flames are coming to homes. You can see that there is a nice home right there in the foreground, and right in the background in the hillside, it is burning just a short distance away. Fire officials say the holy fire was intentionally set. Forrest Clark has been charged with arson. He lived at the Holy Gym campground where the fire started and destroyed 12 cabins. Now thousands of homes in Lake Elsinore lie in its path. The city's mayor minced no words.
I'm pissed. I'm outraged. I'm disgusted. One man caused this devastation for no apparent reason. We can't control fire. We can do our best to protect, but this is heartbreaking and devastating.
Fire officials say the holy fire has scorched 10,000 acres. It remains only 5% contained. Meanwhile, at least 17 other fires are burning, including the largest in California's history, the Mendocino Complex fire. The world is mourning the loss of Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter Aretha Franklin. She'd been battling advanced pancreatic cancer. This is a live look at her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame along Hollywood Boulevard there in Los Angeles. As you can see, a lot of flowers, photographs, remembrances, all remembering the Queen of Soul. Aretha won 18 Grammy Awards over her career. In 2005, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President George W. Bush.
Well, some Prime members are having trouble making purchases. The web traffic appears to be crashing Amazon.com. Instead of deals, many customers are seeing dogs. Amazon posts photos of animals with an error message. Amazon addressed the problem on Twitter, telling customers the company is working to resolve any issues. Although Prime Time or Prime Day is filled with deals, there are some products consumers should hold off on purchasing during the company's Prime Day promotion.
DNA testing will now be used to reunite parents and their children who've been separated at the border. Hello everyone, I'm Robert Olguin. KFOX 14 News at 9's Gloria De Leon is in the studio with me with more on this controversial move.
Well, the number of children who have been separated from their parents at the border has seemed to change. Last week, the Department of Health and Human Services said the number was a little more than 2,000. Today, HHS has announced it's under 3,000, with about 100 of the kids younger than 5.
The cabin was on fire.
Like an explosion, yeah, like something exploded, you know, it was so loud.
A stretch of I-10 remains closed tonight after a fiery crash involving a semi-truck. The driver escaping the flames on his own power. We have team coverage for you tonight. Reporters Gloria De Leon and Kaylee Heck are live from the scene. Hello, I'm Erica Castillo. That semi burst into flames on top of a utility bridge above the freeway. The driver was reaching for a water bottle when the crash happened. KFOX 14 News at 9's Gloria De Leon is live in downtown to tell us what crews are focused on right now.
Well, we're live here in downtown El Paso along I-10 West and Stanton, and you can see a crane is now on scene working to get that semi off of that utility bridge. Now, crews are working to secure the utility lines, and TxDOT is trying to determine how much of the bridge is salvageable.
You know, infrastructure right here, and then next thing we heard a loud boom, and then we saw it go up in flames.
The fire was so close to us that we could feel the heat from where we were sitting at.
An 18-wheeler lodged on top of a utility bridge.
It's terrifying.
El Paso police say the driver, who works for White Mountain Trucking, reached for a bottle of water. That's when the driver steered too far over to the right and drove up the embankment here on I-10 West near Mesa.
So when we looked from that direction, we saw that the 18-wheeler had flipped over the beam.
Folks we spoke with who saw the crash happen say it sounded like an explosion.
It was like almost And everyone in El Paso could hear it. It was so loud. Like, I'm surprised that the glass at our office didn't break. The flames, it was almost instant. Like, as soon as the boom happened and we saw that the truck crashed, the flames were like almost instant.
The driver did manage to get out of the semi and get to safety. He was taken to a hospital with minor injuries, but has since been released. Several agencies are working together since it involves utility lines.
Probably will not be able to open up I-10 until at least 24 hours after it's determined that the utilities have been shut down on the bridge.
TxDOT says they've got a crew coming in from Austin to assess the damage,
so that we can get them out to take a hard look at the bridge and determine its stability and what the course of action that we need to take from this point on is.
Now, TxDOT tells us at the time of the accident, the gas line was not active, but water, electric, and communications lines were. Now, authorities say this portion of I-10 will be closed for at least 24 hours. Reporting live from downtown El Paso, Gloria De Leon, KFOX 14 News at 9.
Thank you, Gloria. Let's take a look at TxDOT cameras around town. Of course, the scene is dark now. We see all the flashing lights of the crane and some of the firefighters and some of the emergency personnel who remain on the scene. Now, traffic going west is now open at I-10 and Mesa, and until now, the freeway was closed all the way from the Spaghetti Bowl to Executive, so it has narrowed a bit. KFOX 14 News at 9's Kaylee Heck picks up our team coverage. She's live in central El Paso to show us what traffic is like.
I'm here live off of Mesa and Montana. Traffic here is still pretty slow compared to what it typically would be at this time of night, but drivers tell us that earlier this afternoon they were stuck in traffic for upwards of 3 hours.
Many people say beep, 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 beep.
Manuel Morales was one of hundreds of unlucky drivers this afternoon. The fiery crash on I-10 West slowed traffic for miles.
I was sitting in traffic for about an hour and a half.
The problem for many people we spoke with was their gas tanks.
Walking probably 3 miles to here to fill the little tank, return back, fill my car, and return back.
I hated it because my gas tank was empty, so I was on fumes for like a long time.
Near downtown El Paso, it was slow moving down Mesa. It would normally take drivers about a minute to make it down this hill. Today, that was closer to 20 minutes.
It was very frustrating.
Jemima Quintana drives for rideshare programs. She says her riders were just as frustrated as she was.
They were like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Too much traffic.
She and others say they plan to avoid this side of town as the wreck gets cleaned up.
Avoid this area. Maybe take Trans Mountain to get rides over there, or stay on the west side.
There were some unrelated closures that were planned for tonight. TxDOT has decided because of this wreck, they have canceled those closures. Reporting live from Central El Paso, Kaylee Heck, KFOX 14 News at 9.
All right, Kaylee, thank you. Now, one of the things that's happening because of this large portion of the freeway that's been closed in both directions is that traffic is diverting to different areas of town, trying to get around it. A lot of traffic has diverted it to Trans Mountain, to Loop 375, down to the border highway. This is Mesa in Wyoming, where traffic is now trying to move up this street. So that is going to be very heavily traveled in the next few hours. Fox 14 Investigates looked into the trucking company's federal compliance history. White Mountain Trucking LLC is based in Arizona. They have 58 drivers and trucks with only one reported crash in 2 years. Right now, we're checking into the inspection records for the truck involved in today's crash downtown. A spokesperson for the company couldn't provide KFOX 14 Investigates with the U.S. transportation number of that truck. Aside from the traffic, the utility bridge that was damaged in the crash is affecting water service in that area. There's a water main break in the area north of Montana between Prospect and Campbell. Workers shut off the valves while they fix the broken line, and service will not be entirely interrupted, but those who live in the area will notice that they will have low pressure until that gets repaired. Our iSpot reporters were tremendous today, sending us fantastic photos and videos all day long. We have a gallery online, but here are a few. This picture was sent in by Alejandro Garcia. You can see the flames and that giant cloud of black smoke coming from the truck. This was right after it crashed. Here's a different angle. This was sent in by Ricardo Meraz, and this is the other side of the bridge where the semi-truck was hanging off of the utility bridge onto the freeway. Our iSpot reporter Justin Lucero sent us several photos from the scene. It shows the moments right after firefighters extinguished the blaze, and you can see the charred remains of the cab and a little bit more of the extensive damage that was done to that utility bridge. You can continue to send us your photos to Burst. Just go to burst.com/KFOXTV or /KFOX14, or you can text KFOX14 to 95577. The football camp organized by Aaron and Alvin Jones of the Green Bay Packers and Baltimore Ravens, respectively, will continue tomorrow despite a big setback today. That semi-truck crash left all these people, hundreds of people, waiting in the sun. The coordinators of the camp and the NFL players who have come in for this event were all stuck in traffic from the crash with hundreds, if not thousands, of other people. Our coverage continues online. You can find updates, viewer videos, and pictures in our gallery, as well as our Facebook Lives throughout the day when we broke in with extended coverage of the situation and how it was affecting the city. Just head to KFOXTV.com for the latest information.
Happening now, crews are working on a permanent fix for a downtown utility bridge damaged in a fiery semi-crash. Here's a live look at construction happening on I-10 East in downtown El Paso. The eastbound lanes have been blocked off as TxDOT crews work. The closure started about 2 hours ago. It'll continue until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. This overnight closure will also happen again tomorrow night. Parts of the borderland are under a flash flood warning. This video from East El Paso, near Yarborough and Alabama. You can see a good amount of street flooding there. The water level up to the car doors. First on Fox tonight, meteorologist Brad Montgomery joins us where he is tracking the storms. Brad, what is the latest out there?
We were watching them south of the border around 7 o'clock, and then all of a sudden, as I zoom in just a little bit, they raced across the border, affecting much of East El Paso. You can see even at the ballpark, a little bit of a rain delay there because we got the field covered and temperatures now into the 70s. But as we zoom out, the big story, take a look at some of these rainfall totals. Again, areas getting hardest hit, not so much northeast or the west side, but the east side of El Paso on over toward the far east side. As we zoom in here, Cielo Vista, around an inch of rainfall there. Areas had even more. As we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see around the Saul Kleinfeld, just toward the west of Joe Battle Boulevard, about 0.7 inches of rainfall. And then the heart of it, this is the area that got the most rainfall. You can see around Indian Ridge Middle School, Pebble Hills right there, George Dieter to the east, Yarborough to the west. This area got over 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rainfall. Take a look at some of these storm reports as a result of what went on here with this heavy rainfall. Take a look at this. We had a flood report here. Ham operator received a call about flooding between McRae and Wedgwood. No surprise there. Also, East El Paso, a woman was rescued from floodwaters on Bywood between Eads and Fierro near Eastwood Middle School. So pretty incredible there. So the storm reports again verifying what we saw, the very, very heavy rainfall. Now the heaviest has shifted east of East El Paso. So some good news there. And as we back out just a little bit more, heavier rain now shifting further on off toward the east in Hudspeth County. We're going to have much more on what happened and what we can expect going into your weekend coming up.
Brad, thank you. We're seeing a lot of rain and a lot of street flooding in East El Paso, and that's where we find KFOX 14 News at 9's Kaylee Heck. She joins us live.
I'm here on Facebook Live in East El Paso. I'm near Eastwood Middle School off of Bywood Drive. Earlier this evening, we received a video from a viewer showing multiple cars stuck in the water here on Bywood. You can see a truck and a car both stuck in the water. It is now down to a drizzle. It's not too bad out here, but the water has since receded here on Bywood. El Paso police had it shut down for about 30 minutes or so. They opened it up just about 15 minutes ago. The officers told me whenever they receive a call for someone stuck in the water, stuck in the rain, they respond to it. But by the time police got here, those cars had already made their way out of the water. But hopefully you can see this in the darkness. Here in this retention pond area, people's trash cans and even a car bumper have washed up here near Eastwood Middle School. We'll continue to bring you the latest on the forecast and everything on air and online at kfoxtv.com. Reporting live from East El Paso, Kaylee Heck, KFOX 14 News at 9.
Kaylee, thank you. The reason Kaylee is using Facebook Live to go live, by the way, is because of the lightning in the area. That makes it impossible for us to use our live signals because it's too dangerous. So that's when we turn to Facebook Live to get her on the air. We're seeing flooding here on Lee Trevino in East El Paso. This video near Traywood shows water collecting in the middle of the streets here. Street flooding, as we tend to see in those areas. Drivers trying to make their way through that flooding. Parts of the lower valley saw hail. In this video, you can see hail start to collect at an apartment complex there again in the lower valley. It didn't last long, but it was coming down pretty fiercely. And we have reporters following rain conditions all over the borderland. KFOX 14 News at 9's Gloria De Leon is live in East El Paso near Hanks High School. We see a lot of flooding there. Gloria, what is the latest in that area?
Okay, well, we're here by Hanks High School off of Lee Trevino and Montwood. And I'm going to turn the camera around. We're on Facebook Live right now because we have seen some lightning in the area. So, of course, we don't want to damage our equipment or hurt ourselves. But you can see there is some flooding here on Lee Trevino near Hanks High School. You can see a few vehicles with their hazard lights on. I did speak with one of the drivers who tells me that they actually stalled out because of the water. And again, when you're driving and you're not sure how much water is on the road, turn around, don't drown. You don't want to risk hurting yourself or damaging your vehicle. Again, this is flooding here by Hanks High School off of Montwood and Lee Trevino. And again, some flooding here. We have seen vehicles stall out, so try to avoid this area as well. But for now, we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Gloria, thank you for that update. Remember, you can stay up to date on all the latest weather conditions with the KFOX Severe Weather app. Download it from the Apple Store or Google.